Happy New Year! 1978! Hey! Finally.
Well,
dude, 77.
Yeah, 77. It was a good year.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let's take a look back on it.
Yeah, we should definitely just take a second and look back on everything that happened. We are officially incorporated as Apple.
It's awesome. Now no one can have that name. We can finally start our corporation.
Yeah, you know what we should do? We should make a computer that people could use in their homes.
Instead of going to like random places that have gigantic computers.
Yeah, and just like a home computer to work on like business and stuff.
We call it a desktop.
Yeah.
This is on top of desks.
We'll call it the Apple II.
Apple II, why not one?
We already did.
That's right. Apple II.
Apple II.
All right.
Dude, it's finally done! The Apple II! Oh my gosh. Dude, this thing is legit.
Dude,
people could totally use this thing in their house. Like, we finally met our goal. Dude, this is legit. Dude, 6 months of work.
We're gonna be rich.
Dude, we're gonna be loaded. It's ridiculous.
People are gonna love us.
Dude, we're gonna take off into the world. We're gonna take over everything. Watch, in 2014, we're gonna own everything.
Yeah. I like the way you think, Steve.
Beautiful day here in Miami, Florida. At the beach, you see the waves over there. The sun's up over there. It's actually really hot working on this tan, you know, getting nice and bronzed. But it's getting kind of chilly outside. I think it's about to snow.
CBS News coverage of the presidential inauguration continues. This portion...
Just to get ready to come out here on the platform. It'll only be a matter of a couple of minutes before their wives show up, and then the president, vice president...
Very happy. Governor Carter, are you prepared to take the constitutional oath?
I am.
Would you place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
The U.S. Space Shuttle Enterprise is getting ready to take its first flight. Wow, isn't that so cool? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, he's starting to roll. Oh. He's taking his first flight on the 747, doing their test flight. This is so cool.
And we have lift
he's
off.
up.
Houston, we have lift off. Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at it go!
That's so cool. It's a great airplane.
It's beautiful.
This is so cool. We are literally witnessing history here.
We are in American history.
This is just we're better than the Russians.
We're great.
We are way better than the Russians.
Good thing we had our video cameras to witness this.
Wow, look at that. What a perfect landing with the space shuttle. That was just amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The first test flight of a reusable shuttle. Just
history at its
amazing. Just gotta go to work. And I freaking hate work. I'm so not in the mood today. Gotta drive this truck here to work. It's just another average day. I'm so tired of this stuff. Oh my God, what is that? Are we having an earthquake? Oh my God, I'm so scared. No! This is the biggest earthquake ever! Oh no! We're gonna die! Oh no!
Max Robinson found himself in last week. As anchorman at television station WTOP, He was in the middle of that story that held the country's attention.
It was an act of terrorism so broad, so bizarre, so many lives at stake, that it brought the nation's capital to a standstill. After the murder of one man and the wounding of many others, the terrorists held 3 buildings and 134 hostages at gunpoint. Police vainly tried to set up some channel of communication with them. But this is an age of media consciousness, of politics by public terror, and the terrorists insisted on an audience for their negotiations. The only channel they would accept was the media. The man they wanted to communicate through was Max Robinson. For the last 2 years, the face and voice of WTOP's 6 and 11 p.m. newscasts, the broadcasts with the biggest local audience. The terrorists established a telephone dialogue with Robinson, who was the first to broadcast their demands. Among other things, that a new movie about the Prophet Muhammad be banned, because they found it offensive.
But once the film is removed from this country...
Space probes have now reached the furthest points of our solar system, and we have learned more about the outer planets in 24 hours than astronomers learned in the past century. For example, we have learned that all 5 of our outer planets are surrounded by rings. Apart from being quite beautiful, planetary rings are truly a wonder. The rings are only inches thick and comprised of dust and ice in neat bands. It is a very unlikely and unstable structure. Every astronomer knows that the forces of the solar wind, of gravity, and the unavoidable laws of physics should have destroyed a planetary ring in less than 1 million years. But at the same time, astronomers believe that the solar system is billions of years old. How can this be? To save the situation, astronomers have theorized that there must be small shepherding satellites, which help hold the rings together for long periods of time. Well, they have found satellites around Saturn, and they believe they may be the shepherding satellites. But now an exhaustive study of Voyager 2's data from Uranus has shown perfect rings without any shepherding satellites. This is held to be a real mystery.
There's this thing called like the Dover Demon. Have you heard about it?
Oh yeah, I think Charles was telling me something about it. Some girls like were driving, they saw this like weird ass creature thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this weird thing that like glows. It kind of looks Asian-ish. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I heard it had like squinty eyes or something and like black glasses.
And they like glowed. I don't know what the hell. Dude, I'm kind of scared about this thing. Like, I don't know what this thing is. Holy shit, what is that? Oh, that is the Dover Demon. Oh my god! Oh! Get us out of here! Go! Go! Oh my god, it's following us! Go! Oh my god, it's running! Oh no!
Welcome to the very first ever ride of Space Mountain.
Woo! Space Mountain! Yeah, big boy! Let's go!
Please fasten your seatbelts, keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, and have a great ride.
Woo! 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 Oh! Down! Space Mountain!
Today the lights were coming on again in parts of New York City, and the citizens there are just beginning to calculate the tremendous cost in confidence and in dollars of last night's total blackout. We have several reports on that. First from New York, Roger Grimsby.
The clock stopped exactly 24 hours ago, along with just about everything else here in New York. The only lights were automobile lights, otherwise the Great White Way was pitch black. Broadway theaters and restaurants closed up while you could eat by candlelight. It was very difficult to cook by it. Thousands were stranded in the city when airlines, commuter trains, and subways were knocked out of service. Thousands of others, all ages, took to the streets just for the fun of it. After all, New York City gets blacked out only once every 12 years. And there were thousands of others who took to the streets to plunder and to pillage. Over 2,500 looters and vandals arrested during the first 8 hours of the blackout. Many more got away. The looters concentrated on small businesses, mostly in the poorer sections of the city, where unemployment and crime are chronically high. There were more than 40 serious fires. 2 firemen died. Some of the fires were deliberately set, compounding the problem, false alarms, 1,100 of them. Mayor Beam summed it all up by calling it a night of terror. How did it all begin?
Oh boy, that peanut butter banana sandwich make me gotta use the restroom. Uh-huh.
Why you been taking so long?
Secretary General, and distinguished leaders from throughout our own country and from throughout this hemisphere. First of all, I want to express my deep thanks to the leaders who've come here from 27 nations in our own hemisphere, 20 heads of state for this historic occasion. I'm proud to be here as part of the largest group of heads of state ever assembled in the Hall of the Americas, Mr. Secretary General. We are here to participate in the signing of treaties which will assure a peaceful and prosperous and secure future for an international waterway of great importance to us all. But the treaties do more than that. They mark the commitment of the United States to the belief that fairness and not force should lie at the heart of our dealings with the nations of the world.
Hey, look, it's Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner! Hey! Bakersfield sucks. It's so hot outside. There's like nothing but dirt. I just have like my crops over here. It's the only good part about Bakersfield. God. Oh no. What's that over there? It's the windstorm! Ah! My crops are gone! Por quoi?